The drama surrounding Gavin Newsom's fall from grace reached new heights when Lindy Lee, sharp-tongued, fearless, and armed with an arsenal of truth, tore through his glittering facade like a storm ripping through a movie set. The man once hailed as the golden boy of California politics, with his slick hair and camera-ready grin, suddenly found himself stripped of the illusion that had shielded him for years. This wasn't politics as usual. This was a takedown. A public unmasking of a politician who had built his career on charm, sheen, and soundbites, only to watch it crumble under the weight of reality. It began, as all collapses do, with arrogance disguised as confidence. Newsom had tried everything to position himself as the future of the Democratic Party. 1 month, he was a self-proclaimed moderate, launching a podcast and trying to sound like the voice of reason. The next, he was the ultimate anti-Trump crusader, feeding his campaign coffers with every fiery word. The calculation was obvious. Wherever the money flowed, he followed. It wasn't leadership. It was marketing. But when the gloss wore off, the cracks began to show. California's homeless crisis deepened, unemployment soared, and even liberal donors started whispering doubts. The state that once symbolized opportunity was becoming a cautionary tale, and at its center stood a man too busy polishing his image to notice the collapse beneath his feet. Lindy Lee didn't just call him out. She demolished him. Her words cut through his vanity like a scalpel through silk. This was not some viral Twitter rant. It was a systematic dissection of everything he pretended to be. Lee laid out the receipts: California leading the nation in homelessness, businesses fleeing to Texas, and taxpayers footing the bill for chaos disguised as compassion. For years, Newsom's fans swooned over his speeches and smirked at his press conferences. But when Lee spoke, they couldn't ignore the truth. "He's not a leader," she said. "He's a liar who treats the state like a photo shoot." And she wasn't wrong. Newsom's leadership had long resembled a glossy magazine cover, polished, retouched, and utterly detached from the messy reality underneath. Every public appearance was an audition for higher office. His perfectly tailored suits and rehearsed empathy made him look like a man born for the camera, not for governance. But Lindy Lee shredded that illusion. Her words landed harder because they weren't partisan, they were personal. She wasn't just criticizing his policies. She was calling out his soul. She accused him of being the ultimate hypocrite, a man who preaches progress while presiding over decay. California's streets told the story better than any campaign ad. Tent cities stretching for miles, small businesses shuttered, families leaving in droves. Yet somehow, Newsom still found time to retweet himself like a celebrity influencer selling the California dream one filtered post at a time. He was too busy managing his image to manage his state. That's what made Lindy's attack so devastating. She exposed the rot behind the glamour. When she said he lied to the entire world, it wasn't hyperbole. It was a reminder of every time he'd stood in front of cameras and promised change that never came. Her tone wasn't bitter. It was surgical. And every incision bled truth. Billions poured into homelessness programs with no results. $1 billion in just 100 days. And yet the streets only grew worse. Lee didn't just question where the money went. She demanded accountability for the donors who gave their hard-earned cash believing in false hope. "They sacrificed for him," she said. "They deserve answers." It was a statement that resonated across party lines. Because whether you're red or blue, betrayal feels the same. The humiliation only deepened when she went after his hypocrisy on national ambition. "He's not running California," she said. "He's auditioning for the presidency." It was the accusation everyone already suspected but no one dared to say. To Gavin, California was just a set piece, a stage for his future campaign. Every wildfire, every press briefing, every photo opportunity was part of a script designed to frame him as America's next great savior. But the performance was wearing thin. Lee's takedown forced people to see the actor instead of the hero. And once the audience sees the wires behind the magic trick, the illusion dies for good. Even his allies began to turn. The media that once praised him as a visionary started to ask real questions. Headlines shifted from adoration to scrutiny. The governor's charm offensive no longer worked. He could smile and deflect all he wanted, but the receipts were public now. Homelessness, unemployment, failing infrastructure, all the numbers painted the same picture. California wasn't thriving, it was barely surviving. And the man in charge was more concerned with his podcast ratings than his people suffering. Lindy Lee wasn't just another critic. She became the voice of every Californian fed up with paying more and getting less. The woman who once worked inside the political machine had seen enough and decided to blow the whistle. Her words spread like wildfire. And suddenly, the man who used to command adoration found himself the subject of mockery. Even his attempts to defend Joe Biden became ammunition against him. He'd lied about Biden's fitness, she said, covering up the truth for political convenience. He wasn't defending the president, she said. He was defending his own future. And that's what made the scandal stick. It wasn't about one lie. It was about the pattern. The endless cycle of ambition, denial, and self-preservation. Gavin Newsom wasn't a leader trying to fix his state. He was an actor trapped in a role, pretending to care while rehearsing for the next scene. His entire career now looked like an overproduced political commercial. High budget, low substance. And Lindy Lee ripped it apart in a single interview. By the time the dust settled, Gavin's glossy armor had shattered. Californians weren't seeing the suave, confident governor anymore. They were seeing the man behind the curtain. The one scrambling to maintain control while his own supporters questioned his integrity. The one who couldn't decide whether he wanted to be moderate or radical, governor or influencer. He had spent so long performing strength that he forgot what real strength looked like. The fallout was swift. Media outlets turned their cameras elsewhere. Donors hesitated to cut new checks. And behind closed doors, party insiders whispered what had once been unthinkable. Maybe Gavin wasn't the future after all. Maybe the golden boy had peaked too early. Lindy's strike didn't just bruise his ego. It cracked his foundation. Because once you've been exposed as hollow, no amount of hair gel can hold your image together. And now, as the headlines fade and the laughter dies down, one truth remains. Gavin Newsom's problem isn't just bad press. It's that people finally see through him. The performance is over, and the curtain's fallen on California's so-called golden boy. Lindy Lee didn't just end a PR cycle. What do you think? Has Gavin's downfall begun for good, or will he somehow charm his way back into America's favor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into political power and media illusion, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next takedown.